I am back. Hello. Can you guys see me and hear me? Are we good? Are we on the same page here? Hello, hello. I am back. We just did a 4-hour live on Gypsy Rose. If you missed it, you missed it. Please go and check it out. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Melly. Hello to all the viewers, subscribers, the haters, the members, everyone. Please make sure you tap that like button on the way in. Do all the YouTube thingies. We are back with another Kenzie Live. So we are continuing from yesterday. We started, I don't want everybody to get confused. I need to make sure you guys understand, like, the Snapchat files is one thing. The social media files is a different thing. So Snapchat files, we're going to be on part 4. Social media files, we're on part 2 today. And that includes the Instagram report, which we left off on yesterday with Faith. So we're going to continue that. This won't be as long as a live as last night's, but don't you worry, because I already have tomorrow planned out and I hope you guys can make it. So make sure you turn on all your notifications and, do all the things. Anyways, hello, babelets. Let's get started. So we left off on, I'm going to say hello to everyone in just a second. Let me just pull up the threads. These are beta reports through the FOIA. So we're going to just continue reading them. If you missed the first part, I definitely recommend it because Kenzie talks to Dom's cousin and Rosie, and there's just a lot there. If you're newer to the Mackenzie case, don't worry. I have like 80 lives under the playlist. We've done a lot here regarding that case, and we're not even close to being done. So definitely make sure you turn on all the notifications if this is your type of thing. I saw Debbie pop in here and I saw Barb. Hello, hello. I saw Tippy. I saw Tiff, all the babelets. Evie. Okay. I see you. Nicole. No GMO. We got problems. No GMOs, please. Michelle. Hello, hello. Did I say Debbie? Hi, Debbie. Thank you for always dropping a comment. That also helps things go into the algorithm. So make sure you're definitely doing that. And I see Jay Bari. Hello, hello. And Debbie, thank you for renewing your membership. I appreciate you and love you. You are always supporting me, and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you. The string being in front of me is making me want. I ate before the live. I knew I want to eat by looking at Kenzie. Hello, Melly. Hello, Glenda. I know. Woo woo. I don't think I can get any worse than last night's messages. The hole is getting deeper and deeper. I know. I don't know what's in these today either. Like, it's Faith and whatever, and they're not in any specific order, unfortunately, like the text were and how I kind of went month by month. So definitely check out those lives too. Replays helps just as much. Let me see. I saw Kimmy. Hey, Kimmy. I got one. What? I'm almost done with the last live. Nick is talking to himself. WTF? Yes. Please make sure you watch it. Chasing Melly. Yes. You babes are chasing me and I like it. We might just be able to go to Lucas and maybe watch some movies and then maybe drink some Starbucks together. Babelet power. Exactly. If you're not a babelet, jump in the chat and just join. You might as well. Hello, Nancy. And hello, Mara. Hello, Abuelitas. I saw Nikki. Green-eyed Southern girl. I'm glad Melly is keeping track. I am. I'm OCD about it. I have everything numbered. So do it. Do it with me. Hello, Jakey. Yes. Love this chat. And hello, Lisa Marie. No breaks. We don't do breaks here. Oh, she is live now. Yes, I am live now. Hello, Monica, and hello, Vanjie. Hello. All right, so let's get started. I'll shut the hell up and we can get, hey, Derek, Mackenzie's. I know. You're welcome, newbies. Exactly. So let me pop this right up onto my screen. I actually like the circle more. Yeah. Pumpkin. Yeah, why nobody calling me Pumpkin in the chat right now? What's going on? Nobody called me Pumpkin today until Drakey just brought it up. I'm going to block if you guys don't call me Pumpkin. For reals. Okay, I didn't miss anyone. Let's get started. Pumpkin. Abby says, okay, pumpkin. All right, let's get started. We left off on Faith. So, oh yeah, the previous stud was Natalie Shirilla. Like I said, go watch the live from yesterday, part 1. I love you, pumpkin. Thank you. Sorry I'm late, says Mary Beth. I love you too, pumpkin. Mary Beth, you're fine. We're just getting started. Okay, let's see. So we left off on Faith, and I just realized I have been spelling her name in all the jail phone calls, all the videos. Yeah, I was spelling it F-A-I-T-H the whole time, and that's not right. It's F-A-Y according to these reports. We want no issues, pumpkin. I'm going to block if you don't hit the like. Listen to Abuelita, because she says she gonna block. She is gonna block. No, I'm kidding. Okay, let's get started. So this is from Faith. I think it's the right Faith. September 22nd, 2022. Faith, current. Okay, so the actual messages start on January 4th, 2022. Faith sends an attachment. A lot of these are attachments as well. There's interesting information in between all of the attachments and photos that they send each other. So then on February 14th, Faith responds to Kenzie's story and says, "You're hot. You're hot, babe." And then Kenzie sends emojis. Faith sends emojis back on February 15th. Faith then sends an attachment on the 26th. And then on the 27th, Kenzie says 400 followers. And then she says LMAO, AO, AO. Faith says, haha. And then she sends an attachment on March 16th with the text outside day. And then let's move on to March 16th. Faith sends an attachment. Faith sends another attachment. And then Kenzie on the 26th sends an attachment. So the attachment says, "Who doesn't want a mushroom backpack? Isn't this the cutest thing? If you want one, let me know. I can make it for you ASAP." Oh, Natalie Shirilla is selling mushroom backpacks. You know how she's crocheting? Okay, I gotta read this. We gotta read this. So it says, "Who doesn't want a mushroom backpack? Isn't this the cutest dang thing? If you want one, let me know and I can make it for you ASAP. This one is my daughter's, and I see that I need to add another white circle in that empty space. LOL. They are $20 each. Please include $5 for shipping if you'd like me to mail you one. I will send you a photo confirmation prior to delivery. I accept Venmo or PayPal or cash on picking up. I had no idea crocheting was so fun and addicting. Here's my Venmo and my PayPal. Please choose friends and family. Natalie Shirilla." Who wants one? Yeah, who wants one? Hey, Cree. Hey, everyone. I had to bail on Gypsy. I could not handle her. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry, Pumpkin says she compliments her friends more. Yeah, I know. So that's interesting. Natalie running her little business. March 26th, Faith likes the message. Faith says, I can't wait for, she responds to Kenzie's story and says, "I can't wait for my strawberry." Kenzie says, "Girl, yes, I'll tell her to start making it." Faith likes the message. Then on the 28th, Faith sends an attachment. Kenzie says, "So fucking cute." Then on the 28th, Faith says, "I want one for my 18th. Kenzie says, "I want a Leo cake." And Faith says, "Yes." And then on the 29th, Faith sends her a message that says, "You look gorgeous." Kenzie says, "I love you." Emoji, emoji, emoji. And then on the 30th, Faith sends another attachment. And on April 4th, another attachment. On the 9th as well. And then on the 9th, Faith says, "Comments." Kenzie responds with, "Ew." Faith says, "Ha ha ha. I love this," responding to Kenzie's story on 4/11. Then it jumps to August 14th, 2022. Kenzie sends, okay, so this must have been the same day she sent it to Natalie Shirilla, the article about Davion and Dom, killed in a fatal crash. She sends that on August 14th to Faith as well. And the text reads, Strongsville, Ohio, 19-year-old Davion Flanagan and Dominic killed in fatal car accident. We know it wasn't a car accident. It was an intentional crash. So, that's not true. Then Kenzie sends another attachment, and it's involving Vanessa Bryant. Okay. These are to Faith, by the way. I'm trying not to blame the school system. I can't believe she made those. Yeah. Do those links work? No. All cash money business, so Steve-O can launder the money. Right? Hey, Lakeside, good to see you. Hi, Amanda. Let's continue. Oh, that was it with Faith. Oh, shite. Now the thread starts with Dominic Russo. Uh-oh. We won't be long as live as last night on this one, but I'll definitely make sure we get through all the Dominic Russo messages. I don't know what is in here, but we're about to find out. I bet Natalie insisted that the daycare parents paid her in cash. Ruh-roh, says Evie. Yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, these are Instagram messages with Dom. Interesting. First one, January 2nd, 2022. Kenzie sends an attachment. Then she says, we missed this. I'm mad. Dom replies with, true. I'm going to say something to Blair. He was going to go. Kenzie says, I didn't even know about it. Dom says, oh, I was going to cop tickets for us. Kenzie says, why didn't you? Dom said, all that shit happened on New Year's and I just forgot. Kenzie says, I'm sad. Dom says, yeah, that had me effed up. I've been sad too. Kenzie says, I have really bad anxiety. Dom says, Wim Hof breathing would help your anxiety if you want to do that. Kenzie says, me and Karina are going to go get her a big ass crystal. If you want, you can give me some money to chip in. What? If you want, you can give me some money to chip in? I'm mad right out the box. I know. Cold chills. Dom says, to buy Karina a crystal? How much? Kenzie says, why would we be buying Karina a crystal? I'm talking about Kendall. Oh. She wanted to get Kendall a crystal. And she wants Dom to pitch in. She said it in text too. Hey, Joker, what's up? Kenzie says, and I don't know why yet. And then sends a photo. Dom says, by your grammar, it would mean Karina. That's why I asked. Kenzie sends an attachment. Dom says, we need one. No more taking turns when we are in rush for bong rips. Kenzie says, LOL. Dom, okay, that was a typo. Kenzie says, yes. Where do we find one? Dom says, I don't know. It doesn't say what brand on the bong. Could probably just search double bong and find one, or I could ask Joe at Nobles to find one. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Kenzie sends an attachment. Dom says, 40 mil, 200K ain't shit. And sends an attachment. Okay, that was on the 7th. And then that's what he responded to her post. And then on the 8th, Dom sends an attachment from Zay Jewelers. Dom says, what should I get from him? Kenzie says, a necklace with my name. Ew. A necklace with my name. Kenzie, nobody wants their name on you. What the? No, if you leave us smelly, I will climb in your window. No, no, no. If you guys don't chase, I'm going to climb into your guys' window. Dom doesn't want a necklace with your stupid name on it, Kenzie. Kendall may have permanent brain damage and Kenzie wants to get her a crystal. Seems shallow. right? Let's continue. Dom says, what should I get from him? Kenzie says, a necklace with my name. Dom says, I kind of want something raw, like a choker or some grills. Kenzie says, I want a grill, but not how you think. I will show you. Dom says, show me. Like, we know Dom was a good boyfriend. And Kenzie sucks. Can ass clown fit on the necklace? Dude, don't make me laugh because that is hecka funny. Yeah, I think ass clown does fit on the necklace. Okay, the next two messages are unavailable. I don't know if that's an Instagram thing or whatever, or a police department or whoever is redacting. Dom then sends an attachment on January 10th, 2022. Then Kenzie on the 11th sends an attachment saying Valentine's Day on your mind. At Nike is celebrating the month of love with a special release of the Dunk Low Valentine's Day. So she's asking him to buy her those. Ugh. Then on the 11th, she sends another attachment. And then another one talking about 2 Chainz and NBC News. Don't know. Dom says on the 11th, yeah, I know. It's some bullshit. Kenzie sends an attachment back. Christmas gifts. Okay. With Alicia Keys. And then she sends another attachment. Don't know what it is. I mean, I'm sure I can probably click on him, but I don't want to exit out of the reading. So maybe we'll do that in a different live. On the 11th, Kenzie sends a Chris Brown attachment. Dominic likes it. Dom. Then Kenzie sends another attachment. Dom says, that's so illegal. Kenzie said, no, it's legal. Dom said, no way. That's like attempted murder. He doesn't got a life jacket. And then he says, I thought it was like day 4 now. Oh, Dom responded to her story. I thought it was like day 4 now. Kenzie says, this is a new bag. It's silver. Dom says, why are you posting it on your story now? Kenzie says, just in case someone wants to buy or send me it. Dom says, okay. Kenzie says, babe, only $400. And then sends an attachment. And another attachment. And another Venus flowers. She wants Dom to send her those. And then Kenzie sends another attachment. Dom likes it. Dom says, what brand is the bag? Kenzie says, Balenciaga, but she spelled that wrong. Dom likes the message. Kenzie says, 400. Dom says, it looks sus to me for some reason. Let me check it out. Yeah. Why is it from Japan and says early access? Kenzie says, it's resell vintage. Been following them for a long time. I don't know. I trust it. Dom says, I'm going to check it out more later. She says, yay. Rolling my eyes. Because what the hell? All she does is use Dom for his money and abuse him. Imagine all your messages being read on YouTube. That's got to be a little nerve-wracking. Yeah. Guilty. My messages are crazy. Adults only, please. Okay, Kendall was the girl who fell or was pushed and she wants to buy her a crystal. I know. I made it for the live. Hey, Pizza Hut. Okay, so Kenzie sends an attachment. That was on the 11th. Then on the 12th, she sends another attachment. Dom likes the message. Then Dom sends an attachment from Respectfully Justin. If you follow him, he posts funny things on Instagram. Kenzie sends emojis. Dom says, I knew you'd laugh or get mad, maybe. Kenzie sends an attachment, NBA young boy. Dom likes it. 13th, Kenzie sends another attachment. Lots of attachment. And then Dom sends one on the 13th as well. And he says, swipe through it all. Kenzie then sends an attachment back. Dom says, I should dry age some shit. Unavailable. Then Dom on the 14th says, responds to Kenzie's story and says, why does that not look like you? Oh my God, he's clowning his own girl. Only 400? Kenzie didn't even have a job either. Hey, Rebecca. The sold out one. Everyone can see and hear for themselves what kind of person she really was. Some other tiny designer bag for her bathroom. Oh my gosh, Nikki, that's funny. It's like this small. Like my lipstick fits in there. Resell vintage? You mean old and used? Yeah. Dom's clowning her. Why does that not look like you? Kenzie says, ha 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 ha. Dom says, I mean, right though? And then Kenzie sends an attachment of some oil canvas. Dom likes it. Then Kenzie sends a message as unavailable. Dom likes it. I don't know if they make them unavailable on Instagram or the police department or whoever. So just keep that in mind. On the 16th, Kenzie sends an attachment. And then Dom sends an attachment as well. Kenzie likes it. Dom likes it. Then she sends him an attachment about a knitted corset. Dom sends another attachment, respectfully, Justin. Another attachment. And then Kenzie on the 18th sends some Valentine's Day thing. Dom sends her a hotel link. Dom says, this could be a move for going to Florida. So he was looking up like Airbnbs and hotels. Kenzie says, yes, please, OMG. Dom likes the message. Kenzie sends another link or attachment on the 20th. Welcome to Finesse, the first AI-led fashion house where you vote on what we produce. 2 messages unavailable. Then on the 22nd, she sends an attachment. Pink heart piece will soon come in a rig. So she's sending him a link for the rig so they could smoke. Who demands this much shit? I know. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. I know you missed the last live, but I saw your comment. Thanks for being here. Who demands? Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if this is when he made Blair deposit the money to buy a purse. Sounds like it. Amanda says she's so stupid. I know. Okay, on the 22nd, Dom sent John. On the 22nd, Dom says something about would y'all drop 3.4K on a bag. Then Kenzie sends him an attachment, the same one. Dom says on the 22nd, those are so gas. Kenzie says, I want them. Dom said, the price tag on them brazy though. Do you think you can walk in them? Kenzie then sends an attachment again. And then Dom sends an attachment. And then Kenzie says, post a pic of us. Dom says, on IG. Kenzie said, yes. Dom said, what pic? Kenzie said, you pick. Dom says, I'll see what I got. She's so insecure. So insecure. I remember this from the text messages too. She wants everything. I know. Okay, so Dom says, I'll see what I got. And then Dom sends an attachment on the 26th. I think they're shoes. Kenzie sends an attachment. Dom says, that shit looks gross AF. Kenzie said, oh. Dom said, they just disappear. Kenzie said, I don't know. Then on the 23rd, Kenzie says, maybe I shouldn't have showed you. Oh, it's the same day. Dom says, why? Kenzie sends emojis. Kenzie says, you know why. Dom said, messages delete on Snap too. And then Kenzie sends another attachment. She says, do this. Dom said, bet. Then Dom sends an attachment on the 24th. Kenzie sends one back. They send a lot of shit to each other. Then Dom sends one on the 25th. And then he says, be for life, not for fun. And then it says, Dom started a video call. And then it says, video chat ended. And he says, would you actually ruin my life? Ooh. I'm assuming that's when she started threatening him. She's always on her phone. Yeah. He says, would you actually ruin my life? That's the only other question I want to know. Wow. They must have been fighting January 25th, 2022. Yeah, Dom, she did ruin your life. Actually, she took your life. Drakey and Joey, right? Drakey and Joey talked about them sharing a Chris. Yeah, I know. Dom sends an attachment on the 26th. Poets and art, sad poetry. Kenzie sends an attachment. 27th, Dom sends 2 attachments. Kenzie sends one as well. Dom sends another one. Kenzie sends one. They're just sending attachments, quotes, memes back and forth to each other. On the 20th, yeah, they must have been fighting because they were sending memes to each other. And now on the 28th, Kenzie says, I love you. Dom says, love you too, Nug. And he sends an attachment. Dom says, you when we have animals at my house. So he sent like some meme or something, some kind of attachment. Kenzie sends an attachment back from Saucy Vault. And then Dom says, that account lit. Kenzie sends an attachment. Dom says, I seen. Gay AF. And then on the 29th, Kenzie sends another one. Birthday party, concert, brunch, dinner date, pair with white ostrich skirt. So some clothes. Then she sends another one. And then she sends another link. Dom likes the message, likes all of them. And then he sends an attachment back. And then Kenzie posted a story and he says, bad AF. On the 30th, Dom sends another attachment. 2 attachments. Kenzie sends one back. Dom says, I seen. I feel like he'll come back and play a couple more years. Dude, for real, play till he's 50. Kenzie sends another attachment. Dom says, is that a shirt or a super short dress? Kenzie buying her provocative clothes. Hey, hello, good to see you. Yeah, there were several threats. Oh, look who decides to show up. Yeah, she more than ruined, she destroyed. I know. Hey, Super Dave. Robert, you're like, he's fine. He's fine. Yeah, Dom says, is that a shirt or a super short dress? Kenzie said dress. It's cute AF. Dom says, it is. I want to see how it looks on you. Kenzie sends an attachment. She says, hard AF. Dom likes it. Kenzie says, I need them back. Dom says, weird, but dope. Kenzie sends an attachment. And then he says, they make it look like pants. Dom sends an attachment. This is January 31st. And then on February 1st, he sends emojis, an attachment. And Dom says, if we ain't going out on Valentine's Day, I should try to order these. And he sends a photo. And then he sends another photo. And another photo. Because they were fighting around Valentine's Day, right? From what I remember correctly. I think they were fighting. Um, if I can remember. Hey, Ruth, correctly. Um, he says on February 1st, all of these I could make, they'd be good AF. And he sends an attachment. He says, I'm gonna need some of this. Kenzie sends a message that are unavailable, but she sends an attachment. Dom sends an attachment. Kenzie then sends another attachment. I think Hype Beast Gaming. And then on the 5th, oh, she signed back into Instagram. Interesting. Kenzie then sends another attachment. On the 7th, Dom sends an attachment regarding Nickelodeon. Another one from Respectfully Justin. Kenzie says, LOL on the 7th. Dom says, not wrong though. And then he sends an attachment on the 8th. Dom says, it looks like Smokey. Kenzie then sends another attachment that says, VIP offer, don't miss out the hottest Valentine's Day styles. Then she's sending him another one. All of these links for stuff so Dom could buy it for her. Another one on the 11th. More links, more links. Yeah, more links. Now we're on Valentine's Day. She's still sending him a link. Dom likes the message. Dom sends a link, an attachment back. Kenzie sends one back. Then Dom responds on the 15th with WTF. Kenzie sends an attachment. Dom sends an attachment. Dom likes the message from Kenzie that's unavailable. Dom says on the 17th, cheap AF too. Kenzie says, I want. Dom says, you're cute. Kenzie sends an attachment. Now we're on the 19th. You know, it's interesting. They're sending attachments to each other on Instagram, but like already with all the messages, you know, shit, they were texting each other all the time and fighting via messages. And now they continuously send links through Instagram. It's exhausting. Hey, Beautifully Broken. I'm glad you made it. Social media addict. That's what I'm saying. Like she was never, that's never off her phone. Chelly Bean says it's like he's her personal shopper or something. She sends to send him links for items to buy her. Oh, thank you, Beautifully Broken. I appreciate you so, so much. You're amazing. Shout out to you for gifting 5 memberships. Beautifully Broken is providing people members only content. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Beautifully Broken. And welcome to all the new members. I really appreciate that. Okay, let's see. 220. Dom sends attachments. I know it's just like attachments or whatever, but I'm in for it. I'm in for it at any time this case is involved, I guess. Hey, Ramon. Yeah, I'm too right. Okay, on the 20th, Kenzie says, wow. Yeet is so cute. Wow. Wow. Dom says, nah, you can't say yeet is cute. L. Kenzie says, for you. Dom said, what? Kenzie sends emojis and hearts. Dom says, I'm confused now. For real though, this year, shit getting out of hand, people making 3D art of him. Kenzie says, it's weird AF. Dom says, he's going to have a cult like Kanye and Cardi. If you do dumb shit enough, I guess you just have cults with you after. Yeet Kanye Cardi. Kenzie says, we should make a cult. Yeet? Who is that? Is that the name of the rapper? I guess don't know that one. I guess I'm not that cool. I don't know who that is. She doesn't mean Kanye, right? Does "you're cute" translate to hell no? Poor Dom was so exhausted from her. I know. Okay, so she says we should make a cult. He said Twisty P. Kenzie says somehow. Dom says I can. I'll just act like I'm Jesus or something. And then he says, "You're talking to me worse than I'm talking to you. I'm just telling you, I'm done with that breakup with me every week shit. I don't do that to you." Okay. So in between them sending links on February 20th, then they started fighting. Yeah, they started fighting. Dom says it was like right after Valentine's Day too. "You're talking to me worse than I'm talking to you. I'm just telling you, I'm done with that breakup with me every week shit. I don't do that to you." Which is so true. Remember, Kenzie was always trying to break up with him like every damn day. And then he says, "All I did was not answer the phone for not even a minute. I literally answered within the same minute. I don't get it, but all right." Kenzie says, "You answered the phone with a straight attitude and then lied to me about who you were with and what you were doing. We are over. So stop effing telling yourself you're trying, because if this is you're trying, it's honestly the most depressing thing I think I've seen my whole life. Literally, I don't do shit and I try harder than you. You're literally a fucking joke." Here it is, guys. Here it is. A reminder to the text messages. Wow. We were waiting for this, right? The real Kenzie to come up in these with Dom. She says, "You're literally a fucking joke. You don't even like Kyle, yet you feel the need to put him above me. Yet you want to put a ring on my finger this year. There's no way in effing hell that's ever going to happen with your shit attitude. I try so hard to effing get to get it through your stupid ass head." And mind you, this is just February. I know. Dom says he owes me money, talking about Kyle. And he says, "And you called me mad." Kenzie says, "Literally, it's almost like it's made an effing brick." Dom says, "So I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing because I didn't know if you was going to be on some shit." Kenzie says, "Because you apologize and say you're never going to do it again and you're going to prove it to me, but you still do the same shit in a week and you do it every time." Dom says, "You just called me mad AF when I didn't answer for a minute." Kenzie said, "And that's it. And that sounds like a shitty excuse me. Are you effing Hannah or something?" And that sounds like a shitty excuse. Are you effing Hannah or something? There it is. There it is. The jealousy. Yeah. She says, "You answered right after I called you. Honestly, I need you to take an STD test." Oh my goodness. I'm trying to remember if I remember this from the text messages. Wow. If my boyfriend said that to me, I would be like, "Bye. Man, I hate her. I'm stuck on you wanna buy me a ring." Whatever, dude. Um, she says, "Honestly, you need to take an STD test." Dom says, "Okay, give me one." Kenzie says, "You keep pushing further and further away from getting anything from me, and you're gonna need to actually ask me out if you wanna be in a relationship again, because we're done actually. You're gonna have to go to the doctor for that one, buddy. That's not my business. You wonder why I'll never trust you. You can't even keep a simple promise to not talk to me like that. You're literally an immature and a piece of shit. Dom says, "What did I talk to you like?" Kenzie says, "Like, I can keep going. I would watch your mouth or I'm going to block you on here too." Dom says, "I really didn't do anything. You called me all mad, so I wasn't trying to really respond if you were just going to be mad at me." Kenzie says, "If I effing call you, you have 3 goddamn seconds to answer, unless you're actually busy, which most of the time you're not." Oh, is that what you say? Blocked. If you don't want to be alone so bad, but why do you treat people like this? You're literally an effing idiot. You're about to lose the best thing that ever happened to you, and you're not going to find anything better than some cracked out bitch who just like taking DICK in her ass. I didn't say it. Don't get mad at me, dude. I'm literally reading these text messages. You're never gonna find anything better than some cracked out bitch who just like taking DICK in her ASS. What kind of sick freak is she? Insecure. Super Dave says Mackenzie's definitely where she belongs and she already got write-ups in prison. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's harsh. Then she says, "You have till the end of the day to actually effing text." Oh, fix this. Typo she put. She's a dumbass. Then she says, like, "I'm not telling you how. And if you don't fix this, then I'm moving on with my life. I don't need you to be happy. You have 5 seconds to say yes or no, or I'm blocking you and moving on." Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Dom says, "Hold on, let me type." "Damn," he said. Kenzie says, "I don't care," in caps with an exclamation mark. I'm so glad you guys haven't been counting down to me. Thank you. Wow, wow, wow. I know. She He's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kenzie says, "I don't care. I am so done with you. Type, are you slow? Like, gee damn. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Again, 4 question marks. So slow. It's gonna be hard to come back from this one, especially since you like to lie and fake apologize just to get your way. Literally a little boy. Like, I thought you were a man. Clearly not." Dom says, "Why? Because I didn't answer the phone? Like, I feel like you can't believe that I don't have any bad intentions. I fought for you so hard this past year." Kenzie says, "Are you for real? Like, I know you didn't just type that. In the 5 seconds I gave you, that's what you have to say? Are you for real?" And then she says the N word. Gosh, I just want to like when she says that. I hate that. Melly, you go for so many cases and quality lives at the end and still notice who misses it. It shows you care. Oh, thank you, Mary Beth. Love you. Definitely care about you. She gets Melly, the voice. I love it. She gets under my skin. I get angry when she treats Dom like this. It's might be like a triggering thing for me. I don't know, but like I can't do it. I can't do it. Especially talking like this to your boyfriend, your partner. Ooh, I don't know, man. I know we've talked about this a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. So I'll continue. She says, "N word, you have 2 seconds to send that text, and it better be good. Slow ass N word, like holy F." Dom says, "You're flustering the shit out of me. It's hard to read all your messages and then send mine within 5 seconds. Like, damn." Kenzie says, "I don't care at all." Dom says, like, you're crazy for thinking I have any bad intentions. Dude, we know he never had bad intentions. Okay, yeah, why fine, fine. The times that he cheated, but do we even really know that he did? Because Kenzie was constantly breaking up with him, guys. Like at some point, Dom was gonna get fed up with her shite. You know what I mean? Like I feel for Dom. Um, Kenzie says, "You literally suck and just bring me down." Dom says, "I do everything for you and I ask for nothing. You bring me down. You don't let me chase any of my dreams. You say that you come first." Wow. Because Dom's last year of his life, this is how he spent it. Fighting and getting verbally abused by Kenzie and oh, it makes us really sad, right? He says, "Oh, now I have to sneeze. A saint's here. I have to sneeze. Hold on." Okay, sorry. Um, Dom says, "You say that you come first." Kenzie says, "I'm going to give you to the end of the day to apologize and figure out what you did. And if you don't actually make this up to me by the end of today and make it good and make me actually believe you, then we are done and I am moving on with my life." Love you, Asin. But you're like Kenzie then says, "If you don't actually make" oh, I already read that. Sorry. "If you don't actually make this up to me, yeah, I'm moving on with my life." Move on, Kenzie, because you just talk a lot of shit and you never actually move on. We know this because you end up schmurdering him. Jeez. Bye, Felicia. Exactly. Dom says, "Kenzie, it's not me. I'm sorry, but it's not me anymore." Kenzie says, "Not sure what Kyle or Blair or Will is going to do to help. LMAO, whatever she's saying." Dom says, "You're doing this. You're making us break up." Kenzie says, "Yes, I know I'm doing this because I have standards, unlike you. Now, this is your last chance because I will move on. And if you think you're going to be anything without me, you're a joke. I would answer now." Dom says, "Kenzie, I'm not afraid of any of that anymore. Like, I'm all in or nothing. I love you, but I don't have to be with you if you're going to try to do this to me." She's moving to prison, right? She says, "Or else you're going to get blocked again and I'm going to start texting people." Oh, okay. So you're allowed to break up with him and he's not allowed to try to move on or text anyone, but you're threatening him that you're going to ruin his life, call the police, blackmail him, and then you say you're going to start texting people. So then it's cheating when he does something, but not when she does it. That's really cool. Not. Dom says, "I have too much going on, too much I'm trying to do for this." Kenzie says, "I'm seriously going to block you. Is that your answer?" Dom says, "Kenzie, you can be with me or go." Kenzie says, "Just let me know." Is that your answer? So you're not going to make up by the end of the night? Dom says, "I don't know what I'm making up. This is ridiculous." Kenzie says, "Is that what you're going to say?" Dom says, "I'm sorry, but it's ridiculous." Kenzie says, "I would answer. Is that what you're saying? You have until 6 o'clock, or you're blocked and we're done forever. I will literally burn that effing scrapbook. Zero F's given." Dom says, "I love you, but I'm not doing this. This is crazy. I don't get it." Kenzie says, "Wow. Okay, we're done. Last chance. I've given you over 3 chances. just today. Dom said, did all those messages send? Kenzie says, this is your last chance to make things right and make it up to me by 6. Answer now. Now. And then Dom says, did all of my messages send? Kenzie says, yes or no. I don't give an F about your messages. Dom says, Kenzie, I don't know what I'm making up. Kenzie says, probably don't mean shit. I don't care. Dom says, just text me on iMessage. Oh, text me on iMessage. Well, she blocked you, so she's texting you on Instagram. Yeah, I know. Kenzie says, because you're dumb AF. Kenzie says, you have until 6. If you say anything bad, you're getting blocked. Dom says, you're saying I talked bad to you? Kenzie says, I'm not telling you how to fix anything. Dom says, is that what I'm making up? Kenzie said, yes or no. Okay, you have until 5 now. Oh my God. I forget like how draining she is. Nightmare in Scoopsville. Dude, I would have just blocked her. I know Dom doesn't want to go to the police, but like, I would have got a restraining order on this hoe. Dom says, Kenzie, yeah, I'll make up whatever, but I don't think this is us. This is really necessary. Kenzie said, are you serious? Like, I know you didn't just say. How effing dumb can you be? Dom says, this is a very small argument and you're putting our relationship over it. I don't get it. Kenzie says, I don't think, quote unquote, I didn't ask. This is not about what you think. Kenzie says, you are literally dumb AF. Kenzie says, I feel so bad. How the F are you not getting that it's more important than this? You lie, ignore, gaslight, dry reply. I can keep going. Dom says, I really don't. Kenzie says, I would watch your reply. Dom says, I might reply dry sometimes. Kenzie says, 4. She says, if this isn't made up to me by 4 o'clock, we're done. This is my last text message. Can you guys imagine if that would have been her last text message? He would have had his whole life. She's very unlikable, says Ramon. All she does is talk down to him. Yeah. Dom says, I don't gaslight. I don't do any of that. I never intentionally ignore you ever. Kenzie says 4:30. Oh, okay. So first she says 6, then 5, then 4, now 4:30. She's literally, yeah, she moves it to 4:30. She can't count 6, 4. I love how Melly adds the emphasis. We feel for Dom. She's incredibly horrible. I know. She says, Kenzie says 4:30. Dom says, this can't be every week, babe. Kenzie says, you're right. Next time you do this, done. No explanations. Dom says, like, I feel like you don't feel I love you. Kenzie says, what the F are you talking about? Dom says, look, Kenzie, this shouldn't end our relationship is all I'm saying. Like, I'll do whatever to make you happy. But I feel like you're being unreasonable today because of your stress over your toe and nose and school. Ew, her crusty ass toe. What the hell was going on with her nose back then? I'm trying to think back to the text messages. She needs an asylum. I like how well we can see. Thank you, Cree. Kenzie says, if this isn't made up correctly by 4 o'clock, I'm blocking you and we are done forever. Oh my God, I can't keep up with all her time changes, dude. Then she says, your attitude will change. Dom says, your attitude needs to change too, babe. Kenzie says, we're broken up. Until you decide what you're going to do, fix this. If the timer hits 4 o'clock and nothing has happened, we are done. Dom said, your attitude needs to change and I'll change whatever. Kenzie says, I know you didn't just say that. This is about you. You. Don't you hear me? I mean, she didn't say that. I just added that part. I thought it would be beneficial to the conversation. Dom says, you called me with a bad attitude first, babe. Kenzie says, do you want me to just break up with you for good right now? Because that could happen too. Do you want me to just break up with you right now? Do you? Do you want me to just break up with you? Do you want me to just break up with you? Do you want me to just break up with you right now? Dom says, you're being childish. I'm not entertaining it. Kenzie says, so we're done? Is that you saying you're not going to make this up to me by 4 o'clock then? Why are we just going through the cycle? If you do not answer the effing question, you are blocked and I'm going to start texting new people. Like, I'm so serious. Clearly, you don't want a girlfriend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dom says, why are you doing this? Like, I don't get it. Kenzie says, I mean, we can make it 3. Dom said, this isn't love. Kenzie says, if this isn't made up to me by 3 o'clock, we're done. Dom says, this isn't right. This isn't healthy. We can make it so much better than this. Wow. I'm shook because we've been reading the text messages and like now we know what was going on Instagram. So the only times it's about Dom is when she's belittling him and being a psycho. Any other time it's about her. Yeah, please hit the like button. Please, please, please. Really helps. Listen to Abuelita because she coming for you. Jeez. Dom says we can make it so much better than this. Kenzie says, your attitude isn't healthy. How do you put literal drug addicts above me? Is it healthy? You're right. We can make it so much better after you make it up to me at 3 o'clock and prove you're going to do better. Kenzie says, until then, we're broken up. And I would watch what you say from this point on because one thing that is said wrong will result in an instant blocking. And I will literally start talking to new people. Dom says, I don't put anyone above you. I literally do everything for you. Kenzie said, see you at 3. And then she says, I'm going to take it that you're not making this up. Answer now. Question mark, exclamation. And she sends 1, 2, 3, 4 messages of those. Just the question mark and the exclamation. Oh, just kidding. I missed one. And then Dom says, I was going to, but I feel like if you want to break up with me, you don't care anyway. Kenzie says, so you're not making it up? Last chance to answer. I gave you 2 hours. You thought of nothing? Kenzie says, answer right now. Or I'm going to just block you and go on with life. Dom says, Kenzie, if you want to be in my life, you will. Girl, bye. No one wants your stinky, bumpy ass. That's right, Tiff. You tell her what's up. Beauty Vulcan says that's how she broke him down little by little, belittling him daily. I know. This hurts my heart. I've seen Dom's shoes with an ex. It's always my fault and everything was wrong with me. I needed to change. This is so sad for Dom. I'm sorry, Chelly Bean. We love you. We're here for you. I hope you're okay. A million last chances. Dude. If someone seriously was texting me like this, oh my goodness. I would have blocked so long ago. He says, Kenzie, if you want to be in my life, you will. If you want to leave, I'm not stopping you. Kenzie says, so you're not going to change your attitude and make it up to me? What you're saying is you're not going to prove to me that you're going to change and apologize? So you're not going to make it up to me? Yes or no? Dom says, Kenzie, you have a bad attitude too. Kenzie says, is it a yes or no question? Is it a yes or no question? And this is about you, not me. Dom says, Kenzie, no, this is you and you're making it about me. You have a bad attitude, babe. You called me with a bad attitude first. I'm not doing this anymore. I love you, but I have to set boundaries for myself too. Mhm. She says, so you're not going to make it up to me, yes or no? Dom says, you can be in my life if you want. Kenzie said, yes or no? Yes or no? Dom says, but I'm not entertaining this breakup shit. I'll do something nice for you. Kenzie says, we are already broken up. Dom said, but not if it's because we're going to break up. Like, you can stop this breakup shit and your bad attitude, and we can be together, and I'll have a good attitude and do nice things for you, or you can leave if you want. It's up to you. Kenzie says, we're done. We're never going to be together unless you start talking to me and make it better and your attitude changes. You have promised to be better like 18 times, and every single one of them is a lie. Dom says, you're not being better either. Kenzie says, if you effing say that one more time, you're getting blocked. How many times do I need to say, this is about you, dumbass? You for real are a brick. Like, I do effing have to block you. Last goddamn chance. We're never going to be together unless you start talking to me better and your attitude changes and you have promised to be better. Oh, she sends the same one again. Promised to be better 18 times. She says, now. Dom says, I'm great. I'm sure I can always be better, but you're really taking me for granted. Dom, she took you for granted for so damn long. I wish Dom would have walked away. Okay, thanks, Chucks, for being here. Appreciate you. Oh, thank you. I just saw that you gifted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, Babelet. Sorry, I just saw that because I was reading. I didn't see who won it either, so someone can let me know because the chat's delayed. But I appreciate you, Chucks, and I hope you have a good time at work. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, okay. I saw Rabbit Hole Survivor. Got it. Welcome, Rabbit Hole Survivor. Okay. So, oh, sorry, I just moved my screen. Can you still see that okay? Yeah, okay. So then Dom says, I'm great. I'm sure I can always be better, but you're really taking me for granted. Kenzie says, we're never going to be better together unless you start talking to me better. Oh my God, she said that again. You know, you have promised to be better like 18 times. Dom says, if you want to be in my life, you can be. I'm not stopping you. Kenzie says, I'm giving you 20 minutes. If you do not make it up to me in 20 minutes, you're getting blocked and you will lose the best thing that will ever happen to you and your business will be doomed. She's literally insane. Makes me sad. I know. The worst. I know. She says she's the best thing. Dude, please. Please. She says, this is the last message you get until 3:30. He says, Kenzie, I don't care. I'll be just fine. Like, you're really just showing me you don't care about me. Kenzie said, just matching your energy, heart. Right now, I could give 2 Fs. You're acting just like the old you and making you want to break up with me, then moving your point. I'm giving you these chances. This is all on you. You have 6 minutes. Dom says, the second message didn't make sense, babe. But no, it isn't. You're pushing me away, expecting me to chase you. Kenzie says, you're acting like a 16-year-old Dom, and I'm going to break up with you if you don't make this up. You should always want to chase me. You just keep giving me more reasons. LMAO. You are so slow. Dom says, Kenzie, I said what I said. You know how I feel. But you can't threaten to break up with me every week. She says, I really don't want to block you at 3:30, but I guess that's how it's going to have to be. Dom says, I'm not stopping you from anything because you're just showing me you don't care. Kenzie says, clearly you're too immature and you don't know what you have. When you're ready, we can try again, but we're done. Dom says, your attitude isn't any better than mine. That was on the 20th. And then they must have made up or something. You guys know how it goes. On the 22nd, he sends an attachment and then another attachment. He sends 4 attachments. And then it jumps to the 27th, and Kenzie sends another attachment. Dom sends an attachment back, and he says, don't you know her? Kenzie said, what? I know her. Dom said, yeah, I thought so. Kenzie said, Shay is cool with her, and she's my new friend. Her boyfriend is 20. They've been together 3 years. He's a Libra. Low-key weird AF. Why does she know all about her friend's boyfriend? Kenzie's a weirdo. Dom says, I have her on my other snap. Yeah, that is weird. And then Kenzie sends an attachment on March 1st. And then on March 2nd, she sends another one. And another one. And then on the 4th, she sends another one. And then she's sending a Gucci attachment. Sneakers. I swear she was just using Dom. Like, she maybe thought it was love. She thought she knew what the hell that means. But like, how she cheated him and used all his money and like seeing all these links. She's just like sending him stuff to buy her. She's schooling him into a nightmare. She's a trophy wife. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, right, Evie. On the 7th, March 7th, Kenzie sends an attachment. Then on the 8th, there's a message that's unavailable. Kenzie sends more messages and attachments. Then it jumps to the 10th. Dom likes a message. He sends a body positivity link. And then he says on the 14th, March 14th, what the F is that? Then Dom says something about avoid food waste. He sends another attachment. On the 20th, Kenzie sends a link about rebelonging, maybe selling clothes or something. And then on the 20th, he responds to Kenzie's story and says, yes. Kenzie sends an attachment, cold-blooded where. Dom says, I'm a dry age something. He sends an attachment. Then it jumps to 26. Hype beast kicks. Dom likes it. 27th sends him another shopping link. And then another one. Dude. Oh my gosh. And another one. And then another one. Don't we love these? Click the link in our bio to inquire. Happy to assist. Then Dom on the 30th sends one about healthy living. Kenzie sends an attachment on April 2nd. Another one for shopping. New York Mag attachment. Then she says one, I don't know to what. Then she sends another one. Green Apple SB Dunk shoes. And then she sends another one for clothes. She sends one for D8 Me sweatpants. And that one was on the 6th, April 6th. And then on April 11th, Dom responds, really? Like, why? Like, unblock me if you're gonna text back. I don't have notifications on for this. Okay, so here's another fight. Here's another fight. Natalie, this is why your kid is in jail, right? Shake my head. Okay, so he says, "You want me to just go to Heinen's? What do you want?" Text back on iMessage. Kenzie says, "I want to go with you, but I want you to try without me telling you have to try. You only try when it's too late. So now it's too late." Dom says, "When was I not trying? We've been doing this all day." Kenzie says, "I don't care. No, you have not. Why would I want to be around you after you just did that bullshit all day?" Dom says, "What have I done? I've only apologized over and over again all day while you called me names." Kenzie says, "Do you have you have 2 minutes to be at my house to take me to Heinen's. You have 2 minutes, 60 seconds, 45 seconds." Dom says, "Okay, I'll be on the way in a sec." Dom says, "On the way." He says, "Here." And then it jumps to the next day on April 12th. She's sending him sofa links. Oh, I kind of remember some of these from the text. And then she sends an attachment again. 13th, she sends an attachment about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Dom sends one on the 16th. Kenzie sends one on the 19th. April 30th, Dom sends an attachment. Kenzie says, "LMAO, WTF, message unavailable." Then she sends that Lucky Charms thing that she sent to everyone else. On May 23rd, message unavailable. Dom likes it. Kenzie says, "Phone isn't working, so I can't send iMessage." On May 23rd, Kenzie sends a video. Okay. Then she says on the 23rd, still the same date, "Maybe if you didn't block me for no reason, you would understand." Dom says, "Oh, okay." Kenzie says, "No apology?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom says, "Do you have one?" Kenzie said, "So you're not going to apologize for saying that? You're not going to apologize for trying to say I typed slow. I need to think for an explanation when my phone was just not working?" Question mark, question mark. Is that what you're saying? Why are you acting out like a little child? This is embarrassing for you. Have, Dom says, I haven't got an apology." He says, "You are the child." Kenzie says, "You're not going to get an apology from me because I didn't do anything wrong. You're immature and you know you did something wrong, which is why you're being so defensive. What the hell is wrong with you? Is this how you treat people you love?" Funny you're asking that, Kenzie. Funny you're asking that. Dom says, "Kenzie, I'm not going to talk to you till you acknowledge what you did wrong. Till then, I'ma do me." Kenzie says, "Answer my question," twice. She says, "Right now." "Then go and do you and end the relationship because I'm not doing this. Like, I will pull up right now and make you break up with me." Why don't she just, Lordy, he said she types slow. Big deal, Kenzie. The blame game. She's the child. I know. I know. Um, Dom says, "Then you end it. You're the one who is not understanding this." Kenzie says, end it right now. I'm not going to do it for you." Oh, wait. "End it right now if you're going to go do you." And oh, she sends that twice. Then she says, "I'm not letting you hold your house over my head." Kenzie, no one was trying to hold his house over. Like, that's his house, period. I hate that she thinks it's really hers because she moved her stuff in because she was so insecure and crazy. It's not your house. She says, "I'll come today and take all the shit I got for their right out of that house." this is how you're treating the girl you quote unquote love, I will remember this. Thanks for adding to my stress. Dom says, Kenzie, I'm not doing anything. You have been mean to me and you haven't stopped since this morning. All I have said is apologize to me or said how you're saying hurtful things. And you know what you do? You don't stop saying a bunch of hurtful shit and then tell me to break up with you when I'm done listening to it. I'm done listening to this bullshit. I'll talk to you later when you're in a better state of mind. Kenzie says, I'm waiting to come to your house because I want a peach. I want a peach. What the? I don't know if that's a typo or what. Kenzie says, so this is on you. Dom says, I'm not doing anything besides telling you to apologize and telling you how hateful you're being. So when you can stop, I'll talk to you. Kenzie says, I'm not apologizing for doing nothing. I just told you what you're doing wrong. Dom says, till then, yes, I'm going to go on with my day. Kenzie says, and then you try to turn it on me when it's you. And then she sends a photo to him. And she says, when you could have just said, I'm sorry, babe, let me go report them. Kenzie says, I'm in a normal mood. You're the one having the tantrum. And you're holding your house over my head because you know I hate it here. Oh, yeah, we know why you hate living with Mackenzie Shirilla now. She's dumb. I know. I agree with you guys. She says, and now I can't eat anything because you're holding your house over my head. Are you really gonna make me take all my shit that I brought over? Because I will today if this is how you're going to be. Dom says, no, Kenzie, I'm not holding anything over your head. I don't want you here if you're acting like this. Kenzie says, you're holding it over my head right there in that text you sent me. I'm acting normal. I told you what you're doing wrong, and now you're holding it over my head because your communication skills are very poor. So is that you saying I'm not allowed to come to the place I sleep at every night? Dom says, no, Kenzie, I told you that you can talk to me when you say sorry, and coming here is part of it. Kenzie says, so you're holding it over my head is what you're saying. Dom says, if you can't apologize or realize what you did wrong, I don't want you around me. Kenzie says, I will not apologize for doing nothing. Are you going to apologize and realize what you did wrong? Because this is not one-sided. Do you have 5 minutes to answer or we're done? I'm also taking everything that I brought for your house out. What we're not going to do is hold the place that you say I could stay at whenever I want over my head. And then Kenzie starts a video chat. And then it ends 7 seconds later. She says, I can't believe I can't even stand up for myself without you trying to cause a problem. I'm stressed out about something, and then you proceeded to be gross and mean. I say something about it, and now I have to apologize? That is bullshit. Dom says, you want me to just drop you off a peach? Kenzie says, we're done. Literally, F you. You are not a good person. Stop acting like you do so much and you care so much about me. You can bring me a peach and everything I got you for the house. If you cared about me, you would have stopped this. You know how you make me feel and you do not care. Dom says, Kenzie, I don't want you to come here and be problems. I'm doing the mature thing and avoiding petty conflict. And if you cared, you would have stopped too. Kenzie said, the conflict has been over you. You're the one who keeps it going. And then she sends a photo, screenshot, I'm assuming. She says, it could have been over right there, but you had to keep on going. Yeah, it was a screenshot. We know her. We know her. Hey, Kendra Jean. It feels like Kenzie's in a Dom sub relationship, but she's the only one cheating it as that. Why do I see her ripping down the shower? Dude, she's nuts. Kenzie says, stop acting like you're all mature when you know what you're doing. You're just trying to make me upset. Like I said, just bring me my peach and all the stuff that I bought for your house for us to use. First of all, that's petty to do that. Second of all, go buy your own damn peach. non-GMO peach at the grocery store, or have your lazy ass mom go do it. I don't know. Why is the peach so important here? Kenzie says, we're not going to have to play this game. No, we're not going to play this game. I'm not letting you hold a place that I live over my head. You don't even care enough to be replying fast. Dom says, no, Kenzie, I don't want you over here because I don't want conflict. Dom says, you never said sorry either. Kenzie says, I'm not going to apologize for doing nothing. And I want you to come over to eat. And I want to come over to eat, not talk to you. She refuses to eat at home. Like, she uses that as an excuse. Then she says, I'm just going to sit on the couch and ignore you, but there's you holding it over my head again. You can let me come over and eat, or you can bring me all the stuff that I brought over your house and we can be over. Not sure why you're being dry and not answering. Dom says, I mean, you did call me the R word that I hate so much. RETARDED. And then Kenzie starts a video chat. And then it ends like 15 seconds later. Dom says, call me a pig. You say a lot of nasty things. And now you want to come eat my food without apologizing. Kenzie says, let me know if you're going to keep holding it over my head or not, because I will just come get all the pots and pans and stuff I bought for your house right now. Dom says, I'm not trying to hold it over your head. If you can respect me, if you can't respect me, how do I expect you to respect my home? Valid question. Valid question. Kenzie says, let me know if you're going to keep holding it over my head and not letting me to the place you said I can always come. Dom said, there's still coffee on my door from you. Oh, and she threw a coffee at him. I know. So she doesn't pay rent, but think it is her house blows my mind. And she bought what? A couple pans and pots, and now she thinks she's on the mortgage. Like, really? With your ghetto ass pots and pans, probably. Kenzie says, like I said, I will come get everything that I brought. Dom said, and there's holes in my wall. Kenzie said, the holes in the wall are not from me. So are you not letting me come? Let me know right now, because I'm coming to get everything I brought for you, then to be a home. Kenzie says, I would answer all. Dom says, if you can't prove to me you're going to respect me in my home, at the very least, apologize. I don't want you here. If you want me to leave your things outside, I will. Kenzie said, yes or no. You can put everything in the box then. If you're not going to let me come to the place that you said I could always come, then put everything in that I brought in a box and I'm coming to get it. If you're not going to let me stay at this house, then we are done. I'm not going to be in this relationship with somebody that likes to lie and tell me things that are not true. You're making this so much worse. Dom says, Kenzie, all that was needed was a simple apology. I'm not going to apologize for something that you started. Dom says, Kenzie, you are all that was needed was a simple apology. Kenzie says, I'm not going to apologize for something that you started. Dom says, you're not making the right decisions or acting normal. Kenzie says, so what is it going to be? So are you going to let me come to the place that you said I could always come? Is that what you're saying? I'm just repeating myself over and over because you like to only answer one of the things I say. Dom says, you're treating me like shit. Stop. Kenzie said, asking you questions is treating you bad. Dom says, what the actual F? Kenzie said, this is your last chance to let me come and eat, or you can put all my stuff in a bin and I'll come get it right now. This is your last chance to let me come eat. I would answer right now. Then she starts a video chat. Then it ends 13 seconds later. Kenzie starts another video chat. And then it ends. That was like 14 seconds, if I'm reading that right. I don't know. Yeah, I think I am. Who knows? Kenzie said, oh, she starts another chat. And then she sends a screenshot. Oh my gosh. And then another video chat. And then she says, "You just effed up." Starts another video chat. Dom doesn't answer. She says, "You have 3 seconds to answer or I'm coming." Of course, you would rather me starve. Dom says, "I just tried to explain to you for 5 minutes straight to let me hang up and not force me to talk to you, but you can't even do that." Kenzie says, "And not eat?" Dom said, "I said I'll drop you peaches 30 times." Kenzie says, "You have 30 more seconds to answer. Then drop off the other stuff too. All my stuff needs to come then." Then she starts another video chat, ends it. She says, "You're being toxic AF. No." I would that's what Dom said. "You're being toxic AF. No." Then Kenzie says, "I would answer right now." Dom says, "Stop." Kenzie says, "You have dead ass 20 seconds." Dom says, "This is why I'm not letting you come." Threatening and shit. Video chat ends. She starts another one. Video chat ends. She starts one. Then it ends. Kenzie says, "You didn't let me say sorry." Starts another video chat. Video chat ends. Starts another video chat. Video chat ends. Kenzie starts another video chat. She ends it, starts it, and then she ends it. And she says, "Okay, I'm going to come." Then she starts another one, ends it. She starts one. Dom doesn't answer. And she says, "I would answer right now." And then she says, "Like, I really don't want to end this relationship, but you are not a good person. You treat me like effing shit. I need water and food, and you're not letting me eat. You are starving me." Oh my God. I can't with her, you guys. Starving her? Do they not have water at Natalie Shirilla's house? So then she's the video chat. So she's literally waiting for him to answer on video chat while she's texting him all of this craziness. It's insane. She says, "You would rather me starve." I'm so serious when I say answer. Dom says, "Kenzie, stop, please. I'll bring you food and water." Kenzie says, "You need to answer right now." Then she says the N word. Dom says, "Water." Kenzie says, "I do not want to be here. What are you not getting? You know that." Dom says, "Then stop being toxic." Kenzie says, "I do not want to be here. So you're going to starve me? Is that what you're saying?" Dom says, "Stop being toxic. I'll let you come. You can wait 10 minutes." Kenzie says, "If you're not going to let me come, then you need to bring all my shit here because you're not allowed to hold the house over my head." Dom says, "I'm done." Kenzie says, "I'm taking everything home if this is how you're going to be." Then she says, "Then please just break up with me. Then if you're going to sit here and let me beg you for food and water, then break up with me because any good man would never do this to his girlfriend. I would answer right now. You're making this so bad for you. Why do you try to ruin this relationship? It's almost like you don't even want to be in one." Dom finally responds and says, "Kenzie, now you're being toxic. I said I'll bring you food and water, but instead you're trying to make an hour to do to bring all of your other stuff." Kenzie says, "I do not want to be here. Why are you not getting that? You didn't let me apologize on the phone, and you didn't apologize sincerely to me." Dom says, "I said, give me 20 minutes and stop being toxic and we can talk. Again on the phone. If you apologize, I can let you come over. But instead, you just span me for the last 20 minutes being toxic as F." Kenzie says, "If you're not going to let me come over here, then I'm going to bring all the stuff that I brought home. I'm not going to keep bringing stuff for your house if you're going to hold the house over my head. It's our house." No, Kenzie, you don't pay for shit. Yeah, please hit those likes. You guys are starving me from the likes. So mean. The most spoiled rotten twat whoever lived, says Shanta. I know. Dom should have ate a peach on video and streamed just to mess with her. I know, right? She says, it's our house. You always say that. I'm not letting you hold it over my head. And when I put work to the house too, I'm not allowed to go over there. I am allowed to go over there and eat when all that food I like is over there. You're holding this over my head. Dom says, you're still being toxic. I would literally let you come over right now if you would just stop saying all this toxic shit and just leave it alone for a second. Let me brush my teeth and then just call me back and apologize. That's all you had to do. Kenzie says, you still have to apologize also. I'm not being toxic. I'm telling you what you're doing. Why would I keep bringing pots, pans, and stuff for your house over if you're going to hold it over my head and not let me there? Dom says, stop. Kenzie says, it doesn't make sense. You expect all this good when you treat me like shit. Dom says, you're still doing it. You can't stop. Like, what the F? Kenzie says, you're still not apologizing. Dom says, like, let me just bring you food. Kenzie says, I do not want to be here. Can you not read? Dom says, and then if you still want me to bring other shit, I'll bring it later. Kenzie says, why are you not understanding that I do not want to be here? Dom says, then stop being toxic and arguing with me. Kenzie says, I'm going to come over or this relationship is going to be over. I'm not letting you do this to me. Dom says, just let it cool down for 10 minutes, then apologize. Kenzie says, you're not going to hold over a house that we built together over my head. Dom says, I'm asking the bare minimum. Kenzie says, and I'm asking for literally one peach and water. She uses that. Hey, Irony. She uses that as her excuse. I can't with her. She's insane. I know. She's like using the peach as an excuse, but we know she doesn't give a shit about the peach. She says, but you can't even let me come eat. Dom says, stop. Kenzie said, why is this making you so mad? I can't ask you for food now. Dom says, I'm about to be done texting you. I've told you so many times that I will bring you a peach and water. And if you really want me to bring the stuff later, I can. But instead, you're trying to say I'm holding my house and food over your head when I'm really not. You just can't respect me. I can't stop arguing and being toxic. And that's why I'm not letting you over. Kenzie says, obviously, I'm sorry for calling you names. My life was literally going to shit and so many things were happening, which obviously you don't care about. I didn't mean anything that I called you because you didn't mean what you said. Oh my God, she's the worst. She is literally the worst. The house that we built together, my ass. I know. Melly versus life. I can like more times if I would believe me. Thank you, Ramon. I appreciate you. It's not your house. I know. I know. Kenzie says, I am not being toxic and I'm respecting you. I've done nothing disrespectful except ask for food. Really? What about calling him a pig? What about this? What about that? Like, really? I would say that's disrespectful. Kenzie says, you're still not understanding that I do not want to be here and you're still offering to bring me food somewhere I don't want it when I could literally come there and eat it. Why are you doing this? You're treating me like effing shit right now. If this old pattern is going to keep happening, then I don't know if I can do this anymore. Dom says, you were being toxic by forcing me to do things. Kenzie says, I wasn't forcing you to do anything. You could have just let me come over and this would have all been chill. Like, I needed water and food so bad, and you don't even care. I kind of forgot about these 5, 4, 3, 2 ones and the low frequency when she calls him slow. It boils my blood. I know I'm with you, Drakey. Telling him he's not a man, but an immature boy. Belittling him and degrading him. I know. Let me get a drink. Okay. This is what he says. It's a long response. Not letting me get off the phone, not apologizing. This is a Dom. Not apologizing when I said that's all you had to do to come over, or just leave me alone for so that all I said you had to do to come over, but instead you can't apologize and you said that I have to bring all your things when I said I'll just bring you a peach and water, but I was only saying that because you were going to apologize. See, you were making it a big a loop because every single time I was telling you to apologize, you were saying no, and then I was saying, "Well, let me bring you a water and a peach now." And then you were saying, "Oh, I'm holding the house over your head and I'm holding food over you." When all I wanted was an apology for you to come keep saying, "I don't care that you need food and water, but I've been trying to bring it to you this whole time and you just keep arguing with me. See how you're still being toxic?" Kenzie says, "Did you not read my apology? Like, what the F? Like, why are you acting like I didn't apologize when I literally just did?" She sends a screenshot. You could have just read that and understood, but I guess not. Dom says emojis. Kenzie says, "What the F?" with 4 question marks. Dom says, "You didn't read anything. I said you apologized for calling me names, but then continued to be toxic." Kenzie says, "So you're not going to let me come over now?" When I literally apologized. You quote unquote apologized and was still toxic too. Like, what is going on? Why aren't you letting me come and eat? I cannot believe he was dealing with this in text messages and on IG. Dom says, "Can I just bring you food and then we can come back to this?" Kenzie says, "OMG. I do not want to be here." All separate messages. "You said I could come over in 10 minutes. Dom said, "I said leave me alone and stop being toxic. Then you can come over. I'm not doing old habits." Kenzie said, "I did stop being toxic and you're doing old habits. You're acting like you did your freshman year. Just let me come eat." Dom says, "Fine, come eat." Kenzie says, "Are you sure?" Oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Dom says, "Yeah, just don't be toxic. I was never holding anything over your head. I said I would bring you food. I said I'd bring you water. I said leave me alone for a sec and apologize and you could come over too. But you didn't want to leave me alone. I do appreciate the apology you did make though. But it's not about who's right or wrong. It's about understanding and growth." God, I love Dom. I do. She needs to go for a damn walk. I know. Mackenzie, he is not your chef. She had food issues and it affected her mental health and she would lash out. She has mental health issues, dude. This is not right. Like, how do you constantly verbally abuse someone and want to fight with someone like all day long? I just I don't get it. Kenzie could have grown her own peach tree by now. Tippy, you're hilarious. Um, okay, then she sends that was on the 23rd. And then it jumps to the 25th. So they must have made up. She sends another attachment, more attachments for shopping. Like, that's crazy how they went from so much abuse to like verbal abuse to then like being fine. I don't get that. Then she sends another attachment on the 27th. Then it's June 1st, sends a link. June 2nd sends another one about cars. June 4th sends an attachment. Then she sends a DH gate attachment, shopping. Dom says on the 4th, June 4th, "Why did you send this to me?" Kenzie sends another link, another link. Okay, the last link she sent was on the June 4th, 2022. And now she says on June 8th, it sounds like another argument. Um, she could not be doing this in prison. All this for water and a peach, dang. Dude, it's not even I don't even think justice for the peach because the peach is being used and they don't even care about the damn peach. Her parents she's just using that to manipulate him and gaslight him and abuse him. Her parents addressed nothing clearly, but yeah, it's obvious it shouldn't have fallen on Dom either. No, Dom's not her parent. Like, what the hell? Telling, like, responsible for her food? Like, she's somewhat of she's not, I guess, somewhat of an adult, mature adult. She could make her own food. She could have sex with her feet. She could grab a peach and eat it herself at Natalie Shirilla's house. Okay. I hope this might be the last argument we cover today. Can you imagine how she did this to girls she bullied at school? Okay, Kenzie says on the 8th, do I have to pull up? I would answer. I would answer. I would answer. Let me know if you're actually ending this. Oh my God. Why am I surprised that it's like from one day to another, right? It seems like the fighting. She starts a video chat. She ends it 1 second later. Probably Dom's denying it or not responding. She starts another one and then says, let me know if you're actually ending this. She says that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And then she ends the video chat. So she's literally calling him on the video, sending him that copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and then ending the video call when he doesn't respond. She says, again, twice, let me know if you're actually ending this. Again, let me know if you're actually ending this. Answer now. She starts another video chat, ends it. She says, let me know now, twice. She says, WTF. She starts another video chat. Let me know if you're actually ending this. 1, 2, 3. 3 times she says, let me know if you're ending this. Again, Dom finally responds and says, Kenzie, I gave you 2 chances. Kenzie says, yes or no. Dom says, are you gonna chill with thoughts? Ooh, yeah. See, this is when she was hanging out with the friends that Dom didn't like. Are you done hanging out with thoughts? THOTS. And you guys know what that means. I don't have to tell you. I want a peach. Just kidding. Dom says, are you going to chill with thoughts? Kenzie says, you forced and made me choose between my friend and you. You are being abusive. Video chat ends. She starts another one. Dom says, are you going to chill with thoughts? Specifically prostitutes. There it is again. The P word. Kenzie says, are you going to show love and compassion and make me feel special and chase? Dom says, yes, of course I will. No. Why, Dom? This is June 8th. So this is like a little bit over a month and a half from the crash. She says, I'm going out to eat with my friends and when they ask me to or go roller skating. That does not make me one of them. Dom says, but not chase if it's going to be toxic. She ends the video chat, starts another one. She says, it's not toxic. Dom says, Kenzie, you choose the thoughts. We done, babe. I'm sorry. Kenzie says, it's showing you care and want me with you. Dom says, I will, but not if it's toxic. Kenzie says, you're not allowed to hang out with Blair or Kyle then. No, Kenzie, that's not how it works. He doesn't want you hanging out with the thoughts because of the shit you're doing. He never does anything weird, like sell feet pics with his homies. Everyone owes her something in her deluded mind. I know. Right, Chelly Beans? Meanwhile, there's a whole separate text argument about the same topic, literally the same one going on in text. She says, you're not allowed to hang out with Blair or Kyle then, or be friends with them. Dom says, I don't hang out with Kyle. I think he said very often. Meant to say that. He says, I haven't hung out with him. I have hung out with him when he gives me money. Kenzie says, like, you need to block them on everything if I'm not allowed to hang out with Grace. Ah, so he's calling Grace the thought. Makes more sense. Dom says, only times for real. She says, I don't care. Will is the only one of your friends that I like. Dom said, my friends ain't prostitutes, babe. Yeah, I chill with him the most. Kenzie says, and you need to unfollow every girl you follow too. I don't care, quote unquote, if you knew them your whole life. If I'm not allowed to be friends with Grace, Dom said, okay, then unfollow every boy you follow. Kenzie says, and you need to buy me something really nice if I'm not allowed to be friends with them. How does... She's so manipulative. Grace needs to make herself known. He needs to buy her something. I remember this. Kenzie says, I don't follow boys. Dom said, let's check. Last I checked, you liking black dudes' pics. Kenzie said, when you try to hang out with Emily, makes sense. Dom says, LOL, you did it first. Kenzie said, you think it's funny. Cheating on me, question mark. And then 3 more question marks, 3 more. Dom said, I wasn't. She sends 4 question marks. Then she sends 7 question marks. Dom says, you were broken up with me too. You broke up with me. Liked dude's pictures. So I sent it to piss you off. Kenzie says, so you cheated on me and embarrassed me. Dom says, I don't consider that cheating, but okay, Kenzie, I'm done with this. Kenzie says, just like Audrey. Dom said I'd love you and chase you. Kenzie said, and Jada and Anne-Marie. Dom says, you're going to be friends with thoughts. We're done. And she says, and Hannah. Dom says, we weren't dating when I did anything with any of them. And that's a fact. Kenzie says, if you can't let me be my own person, this will never work. Jada, we were together. Dom says, no, we weren't. Kenzie said, Audrey was on a break while we were talking. Kenzie said, yes, we were. Anne-Marie was also while we were together. Dom says, no, we wasn't dating with any of them. I remember. Kenzie says, because I found out the day you texted her. I know you didn't just say that to me. Dom says, yes, Kenzie, you know, because you were right there. Kenzie says, you seriously can't admit you cheated? Dom says, I'll admit texting. Kenzie says, you're still not going to hold yourself accountable? Dom says, Jada snapped me when we was on a break. Kenzie says, you're not going to hold yourself accountable for putting your penis without a condom in Jada? Whoa. Anna-Marie, Jada, Hannah, Audrey, Grace too. We wasn't dating. Rebecca's like, can you spell right? Yeah. Oh, 2 times. Kenzie says 2 times you put your PP in Jada. She says, you're not going to hold yourself accountable for Audrey giving you when it's on video. Dom said once. Kenzie says, you told me 2 times. Don't lie. Dom said, must have got it mixed. Kenzie said, oh, so Audrey sucked you off twice then. Dom said, no. Kenzie says, then what? What one did twice? I'm really over this. Are you trying to drain my energy and hurt my feelings? What is going to happen? Are you going to let me show you that I can be my own person and I'm old enough and capable of hanging out with Grace and just doing girl stuff with her, or no? Starts a video chat. Dom isn't responding. She says, what the F? Why do you just stop replying? For no effing reason. You treat me like effing shit. Starts another video. She says, what the F? Ends the video chat. Whatever, Dom. Go be single, then you obviously never loved or cared about me if that's easy to treat me like this. Why the F did you stop answering? You started. Oh, Kenzie starts another video chat. Dom says, my phone died. He says, you can't chill with prostitutes. Kenzie says, I am allowed to chill with them if they are not doing bad things. They know not to drag me with them when they do that stuff. Oh, so her friends and her were definitely doing that. Hi, my wavy love. Good to see you. Nothing is sacred. I know. Dom says, my friends don't F prostitutes. Kenzie says, you don't even understand. I literally talked about you all night when I was over there too. Kenzie says, Will does. Dom says, they only got to bring trouble. That's not the type of people you should be around. Kenzie says, well, while I'm looking for other friends that want to hang out with me, I'm going to keep them as my friends because they are important to me. Well, not they, Grace. Grace is important to me and she's a good friend. She knows not to do that and drag me down with her. Dom says, that's why I let you chill with Grace. Now you're chilling with more thoughts. Kenzie said, then who is the problem? Shelby? Dom says, that are probably worse. Kenzie says, Kaylee? Who? Dom says, all your friend thoughts. Kenzie says, Grace is the only one that I'm caring about. Grace is the only person that I want to be friends with, and she knows not to take me down and do stuff with her. Dom says, it don't matter what they're talking about. When they're with you, what are they doing? Not good shit. Will comes over, let's get this money, let's do this type shit. And whenever me and Will go do something, you know he don't be doing no weird shit. Kenzie said, Grace respects what I want to do, and she knows if I say no, then it's no. Dom says, like you get influenced by these people, whether you think it or not. Kenzie says, no, I'm not. I have a mind of my own, and I'm not a follower. I am a leader, and you know that. Dom said, it's a fact. Kenzie said, why aren't you letting me have my own mind? Dom says, Kenzie, it's a proven fact. Why do you think me and you are the exact same by now? We always had lots of things in common, but we literally say the same shit. We finish each other's sentences. Part of this is why we only around each other, you know? Like we eat at all the same foods, now listen to the same music, have the same interest. Like I want you to have friends, but I don't want 5 out of 5 to be prostitutes because I know you're going to start acting different because you did last time when you were with her. Kenzie says, Grace is going to be my friend, Dom. She's not going to influence me. Not sure why you even blocked me in the first place. If you're just going to answer me on Instagram, just unblock me on iMessage because texting on Instagram is annoying. Dom says, I seen it slowly happen last time. It's factual. Kenzie says, well, I'm a new me every day. I'm never going to do that again. And you know that. Dom says, I don't know, Kenzie. Kenzie says, well, if you love me and want to be with me, you can trust me and believe that. Is that a no? Is that a no? Dom says, you can't chill with them. Kenzie says, so what you're saying is you're not going to have any trust in me? Dom says, what happened last time? Kenzie said, that was so long ago. That's not me. Just like you're not a cheater anymore. I'm confused why he stayed with Makilla and she didn't get it up and she's evil. He must have stayed out of fear. She says, even though you did last month. Dom says that was 9 months ago, not 3 years ago. Kenzie says, you cheated on me 2 months ago with Emily. Dom says, you cheated on me 2 months ago with someone random. Like, no, I didn't. I sent a snap to piss you off. Kenzie says, no, I didn't. That was long ago. With Grace? Kenzie said, that was last summer. Dom said, you can't be associated with prostitutes to be with me. Kenzie says, Grace is not bad. Dom says, like, I'm only saying you can't chill with them. Kenzie said, you said you don't have a problem with her. She's the only one I want to hang with. I love getting food with them. They are my friends. You should care. Why do you not trust me? Why are you not taking my word? Well, if you love me and want to be with me, you can trust me and believe that. Dom says, okay, they only bring you around weird people. Kenzie said, no, it's only ever just us. Dom says, they prostitutes. Kenzie says, they know not to get me in those situations because I'm not interested in that. It's only ever us or sometimes another girl. Dom says, it don't matter. Kenzie says, they know not to get me into the situations. If that's your problem, then it doesn't matter. Kenzie says, this is not fair. They're the only one of my friends who don't take advantage of me. Like just today, Mia's trying to get me to hang out with her and smoke with her and smoke her up on weed and drive her when I have no gas. Grace would never do that. Then Kenzie says, answer. Why the F did you unfollow me? Why the F are you just not answering and just reading it? She starts a video chat. She ends it 24 seconds later. Dom says, you can't chill with prostitutes. Kenzie says, answer my effing question. Answer. Answer, she says. WTF. Dom says, because I didn't want your message in my primary. I ain't think you hit me up on here. I thought you was going to be done. I thought we broke up. I unadded you on everything. Kenzie says, if we are done, then let me know now because I'm over this manipulation. You're the only one manipulating, Kenzie. Dom says, Kenzie, if you want to hang with prostitutes, we're done. Kenzie says, you would be good at it too because you read the book on it. So you know exactly how to manipulate people. If you're going to answer me on here, just unblock me on iMessage because texting you on here is effing annoying. Dom says, Kenzie, I'm about to block you on here too. Kenzie say, if you say no, then just end this relationship. Dom says, I said what I said. Kenzie says, you prove every day that you never give an F about this relationship. If I'm not easy to throw away, you never wanted me to begin with. I think, Kenzie, you're dumb. And you mean, if I'm easy to throw away. Dom says, you chill with prostitutes, I can't be with you. Kenzie said, that's easy. If you can't trust my word, then what is the point of being together? I trust that you're not going to cheat on me anymore, even though you just cheated on me last time. Dom says, look, you can't chill with them. Kenzie says, so am I supposed to just assume you're a cheater? Oh, he says, you can chill with them. Kenzie said, so am I just supposed to assume you're a cheater? Dom says, once every 2 months, actually 3. Kenzie says, no, you're not going to be the one who decides that. Dom says, well, I don't want to be associated with prostitutes. Kenzie says, when they ask me to hang out and it's nice out and they want me to go roller skating, I'm going to go. You have nothing to do with them. They're just my friends, just like I have nothing to do with Blair. He doesn't follow me and I don't follow him. You let your friends disrespect me and my friends, and you don't say anything about it. I don't think any of his friends ever disrespected you, crazy Kenzie. You were just always being crazy when they were around. Dom says, no, Kenzie, last time you started chilling with Grace, you sold your body. Now you're hanging with multiple Graces. Kenzie said, that was over 8 months ago. And I only got to hang out there for Grace, so I'm only hanging out with Grace. Grace is the only person that I care about and I'm going to hang out with. Dom says, no, Kenzie. Kenzie says, and then you're not allowed to hang out with any of your friends unless I approve them. Isn't that toxic, huh? Dom says, no, it's not like that. Kenzie said, no, it is like that. Dom says, if it's just if you do, I'm gonna break up with you. Kenzie says, if I'm not easy to get rid of, then just break up with me now. You sound dumb, Kenzie. She says, if I'm that disposable to you, you're just dragging me along with you to look better, then please just break up with me now. Why would he be dragging you around to look better? She says, see, this is what chasing looks like. Dom says, Kenzie, I spent hours texting you. I'm done with this. She says, I care about their relationship, so I'm trying to work it out and come to a compromise. I think she meant this relationship. Or maybe they're her friends. Dom says, yes, Kenzie. I mean, I'd consider you hanging out with them once every 2 months, but anything more, I'm a breakup with you. Kenzie says, if they invite me to go out, I'm going to go. Going to dinner is not prostitution. Going roller skating is not prostitution. I can be friends with them when they're not doing that weird shit. I don't need to be involved in their shit at all, which I'm already not. I don't have to go to the club with them, even though I want to. Dom says, she tried to make you her prostitute sidekick type shit, bring you on her dates and shit. Kenzie says, see, now I'm willing to make changes, but you're not willing to change a single thing. Dom said, that's weird. So no. Kenzie says, and you haven't even apologized for you talking to me and calling me all these names. Dom says, you can't chill with them. Kenzie says, she does not bring me on her dates. She never has. Dom said, she did before, and that dude bought you a shirt or something like that. Shit is so weird. Kenzie says, she tried and it didn't work because I wasn't into it. You said I could go. I asked you first. Dom says, I let you make your own decisions, but I ain't gonna F with them for all of them. Oh, I ain't gonna F with you for all of them. Kenzie says, no, you told me I could go, so you're not allowed to hold that over my head. And that man did not even touch me. Dom says, Kenzie, I'm just saying. Kenzie says, 5 times actually. I'm just saying you cheated on me 4 times. You should not be talking like this. Dom says, like for real, I'm not gonna compromise. There's 500 million people in America. Kenzie says, you claim you're a changed man. Well, you can believe me and say I'm never going to do any of that stuff if I believe you. Dom says, you can find other friends. Kenzie says, we were supposed to be a team. This is not how a relationship works. Dom says, yeah, but I'm not going to be around people who threaten you. Kenzie says, I will find other friends when the time comes. Until then, I'm going to be friends with whoever I want, and I'm not going to let them get me into any situation. They have never threatened me. I don't know what you're talking about. Dom says, like, my friends don't be hanging with hoes. None of my friends have hoes. Kenzie says, I mean, your friend Kyle is dating one. Dom says, or F prostitutes. Dom says, no. Kenzie said, so is Blair. Dom says, like multiple hoes. Kenzie says, yeah, they both nasty hoes. Dom says, how? Dom says, like, stop. Kenzie said, where's the sudden change of mind? Because you used to be the person with multiple hoes. Dom says, I'm saying my friends don't have hoes. Kenzie says, we're either going to have to come to a compromise or be done because relationships are supposed to be teams. Dom says, you go to club and hella random dudes on your friends. Kenzie says, they are dating hoes. I don't care. I was not doing any of that. That is not involved with me or my business. That was all of them. Dom says, okay, Kenzie, go hang out with them every day if you're going to choose them over me. Bye. Kenzie says, I'm not choosing them over you. I'm still literally be with you every single day and just be on your couch. I hang out with them like once every 2 weeks. I'm going to be with you more no matter what. And you know that. I don't know why you're being so defensive. Answer now. She says, answer, answer, answer. She was trying to blow him up. She says, you honestly sound like you're cheating on me because I don't know why you're acting so guilty. Why the F are you not answering? Dom says, you really think I got time for that? Kenzie says, listen, do you want this relationship to work or not? Are you going to be willing to treat me the right way, how I deserve, or are you going to keep doing that? Kenzie says, yes, I do. I mean, I wouldn't just be saying that if I didn't think you were doing it. Dom says, Kenzie, I love you. I want to treat you amazing. I want to give you the world. I want to become a millionaire and us to live in an effing fairyland and be happy forever. Oh, too bad forever didn't last very long for Dom. Something of his touched something of Kenzie's. Facts. I know. Kenzie says, I'm telling you right now that I'm not going to do any shady shit. Dom says, but I don't want you chilling with thoughts, weighing you down. Kenzie says, they do not involve me in anything and they are not wearing me down. They take great photos and make me feel good, but you shouldn't care about what they do. My mom hung out with people who did drugs and she never did drugs. Yeah, I don't think Natalie Shirilla is a good comparison, Kenzie. I'm sorry. She's trash. And I mean that respectfully. Dom says, she definitely tried them though. Kenzie says, no, she didn't. She would tell me. You think you're wasting your time? I've been here alone all day trying to get you to understand that you don't make me who I am. They are my close friends that don't use me for my weed and for my clothes. I don't know what I have to say to you to get you to understand. She says, why are you not effing answering in caps? Like, what the F? You dead ass have 3 seconds. You're going to unblock me on everything. Dom says, you're not coming over tonight. Kenzie says, I am. Dom said, stop calling me. Kenzie said, you have 2 minutes to answer the phone. Dom said, or what? Kenzie says, I'm waiting. I will come over right now. If you don't unblock me, this relationship will never work. You are being a terrible person. Like, I really don't want to have to just come over right now because I will come. You can unblock me on everything. And you're not allowed to say you love me for a while because you clearly don't. Dom says, I will. Kenzie says, now. Dom says, I'm on D&D. Kenzie says, do it now. Dom says, leave me alone. Kenzie said, unblock me now. I swear to God, you got 2 seconds. And don't be giving me attitude, says Dom. Kenzie says, unblock me now. Why are you acting like the old you? The disgusting, bipolar, abusive you. This is all it was until the very end. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, said Evie. Kenzie says, did you unblock me? How can I ever marry somebody who treats me like this? Dom says, I'm a savage. Kenzie says, you don't care that you hurt me. Did you actually just say that? What the F is wrong with you? Abusive, unloving, and I'm not unblocked. Dom says, no, I'm just built different. Kenzie says, you are. You control me. You were taught abuse your whole life. I thought you learned love. Dom says, you are unblocked. Kenzie says, clearly you haven't. And why did I send that? Because you know you're unloving and abusive and controlling. That really pisses me off when she tries to use his childhood because he never, ever did anything like that. Maybe they fought, but you know how bad Kenzie basically initiated it and she egged him on. She knows what would make him be set off. I cannot forgive her. How can anyone? Clearly was just, oh yeah, Natalie. She said, Dom says, because I meant to say you are unblocked. Kenzie says, and you don't care. Dom says, and I didn't want you to think I was saying you are back. Kenzie says, all you care about is yourself. You think cuddling is wasting time? You don't care about the little moments. The most important moments are the little ones, but that's a waste to you and weak. Dom says, I do. I just need to go crazy because I'm finna be a millionaire, billionaire. Kenzie says, you called the woman you want to marry weak. Dom says, I'm gonna have to do what nobody be doing. Kenzie says, I don't care. It doesn't change how you treat me. Dom said, I just know what it takes. Kenzie says, you don't care that you hurt me. You haven't even tried to apologize for anything. All the hurtful things you said to me. Dom says, Kenzie, I stand by what I say. If you see me being friends with bums, please tell me. Kenzie says, you stand by what you say, even though it hurts me. She says, where did Dom go? The Dom that I love. This is not you. I know you know that too. Dom says, honestly, I do. Kenzie says, and I know you're sad and hurt on the inside, so you're hurting me. Dom says, you're making me sad. Kenzie says, you stand by what you say, even though it hurts me. Is that what you just said? You should be sad. Dom says, but I gotta be a savage. Kenzie said, you just ruined your 4-year relationship in a day and you don't care. Dom says, I gotta make it to the top. Kenzie says, at all. She says, this is not how you do it. You don't hurt your number one fan. Dom says, I should trust that I know best. You. I don't know what that means. Oh, you should trust that I know best, Dom said. Kenzie says, I made you who you are. I helped you grow into a loving person. You don't. Because if you knew me at all, you would let me make my own decisions like I let you make yours. Bullshit, Kenzie. Bullshit. I love Melly's eye rolls. No. No. I might just have to go visit her in the fucking prison because you did not let him make any decision. And anytime he tried, you threatened the police, you put your hands on him, you verbally abused him. Nasty. Nasty, Kenzie. You're right where you belong. Dom says, if you changed at all before, I couldn't take it. Kenzie says, you are never there for me. You don't care that you hurt me. You don't love me. You call me weak. Is that who you want to be with? Is this who you want to be with? Dom says, I have high expectations for you. I want you to be a boss with me. Kenzie said, is this how you talk to the people that love you and would do anything for you? I can't be with someone who doesn't care about me. You haven't treated me like this in over 2 years. I'm actually shocked you have said anything about me, especially my mom. Oh, gosh. Looking back on the text after everything and the calls and the future calls that you guys haven't even heard yet, that I haven't put up, maybe you have, I don't know. Natalie Shirilla is like -0 in my book. And who cares about your mom, Kenzie? Dom says, I have never claimed a girl as my girlfriend ever. So yeah, you should know I care about you and I have high expectations for you. Kenzie said, because she loves you and you hurt her too. You hurt me and my family and you don't care. Dom says, Kenzie, I have no problem with anyone in the family. Kenzie says, I didn't say that. Dom says, I told Tyler Proctor his parents are bozos. Kenzie said, I said you hurt my mom. Dom said, and he said, yeah. He said, you right. Kenzie said, and me. Dom said, I said, listen to me. You'll be a boss. Kenzie says, Tyler is a bum. Dom says, he said, yeah. His parents ain't. Kenzie says, you're giving effort to the wrong people. Dom says, I told him they bozos. He listens. You don't. Kenzie says, I'm talking to my mom who loves and supports you. Kenzie says, who you called all this stuff earlier. I would never diss your family like that. Ah, you would never diss his family like that, but you say that Miss Russo's a drunk and that she doesn't know what the hell she's doing and she didn't raise you right, blah, blah, blah. That's what you've said about his mom before, Kenzie. So at this point, I guess it's fair. I don't know, even though two wrongs don't make a right, but Dom says, all I said is she works 70% of her life like 90% of people. That's what Dom said. Kenzie says, but you still don't care that you hurt me. Dom said, shit, my mom was working 80 to 90% at one point. Kenzie said, she still is. Dom said, 99% of people. Kenzie said, but I'm not dissing her like you diss my family. Dom said, I wasn't. Kenzie said, you did. I can go show you. Dom says, do you want to work 70 of your life? That's how they was taught. Kenzie says, and you didn't unblock me. Dom says, I'm teaching myself. I did. Kenzie said, no, on Snap. And you didn't follow me on here. And that's the end of the 8th. And we're going to stop there. We'll continue the reading tomorrow. I know. I'm leaving you guys wondering what the helly is going to go down. They go from the 8th to the 16th. So that's where we left off. Is Mallory in here? No, she's not. Why do both of these idiots think they're gangster and none of them are from the streets? I know. I know. Can you elaborate on Babelet? You guys are all my Babelets, all in here. Kenzie is the devil's daughter. I know. I know. Interesting. I didn't know we would see conversations like those on Instagram, but I should have known. I should have known. Let me write down where we're leaving off for tomorrow. So we will continue the readings tomorrow. Like I said, keep your notifications on. We will be continuing Kenzie text. We are going to do, hopefully, I want to finish Kenzie video calls right now after I get off. We'll cover Gypsy Rose again. Saying says, I'm not a Babelet. You all are Babelets. Just woke up and thought I'd check into the Mellyverse just in here in time to say goodbye. I know we've already been live for 2 hours and I did a 4.5 hour live with Gypsy earlier. So please, please, please make sure you guys go watch the Gypsy videos so you guys can follow along with us. We have great conversation, a lot of people into the Gypsy, and I really Gypsy case, and I love that. And so we will be covering numerous topics tomorrow. Everything Kenzie says about Dom, she is. Thanks, Melly. Excellent reading. Thank you, Ruth. Yeah, everyone, please, please hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. I didn't want to just stop at a random part, but I think that was good because they were arguing on the 8th. Now it jumps to the 16th. And we know that there's going to be more arguments and more fights because we're on page 400 and something and there's 2,000. So I'm assuming a lot of these might be with Dom. So please, please, please hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, well, basically Debbie for renewing your membership. And then I saw Chuck's gifted and Beautifully Broken gifted. Evie says, hit the like, Babelets, and don't starve Melly. Oh, I just saw that. Thank you, babe. I appreciate you. And Irony, I appreciate you as well. Happy holidays. Yeah, please don't starve me. And if you guys don't chase me tonight, I'm going to be mad and block and throw a peach through your window. Thanks, Melly. I know we are addicted. I'm sorry. I guess I'm guilty too. R.I.P. Davion and Dom. Yes, yes, yes. We love Davion and Dom. I hope they're resting in peace. My heart always goes out to the Flanagans and the Russos. Thanks so much, Melly, for great insight. No, thank you guys for being here. Shout out to my mods. I love you all. I love all the chatters. Shout out to all the members. Everybody have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, I am working on Kenzie videos for you while you little beautifuls get your beauty sleep. So I love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.
Try to hide away, so all they do is work. But nobody can hide when she gets a hold of that paperwork. So don't you dare come in here acting like a jerk. Dance might make her dance, but new court docs will make her wanna twerk. Dark hair shining in the Cali sun. Melly on the case, so no point in trying to run. You Sims can ask for feet pics, but you getting none. It's 𝗲𝗏 with Melly, let's have some fucking fun. So if you're feeling for true crime, like it's a drug, 𝗲𝗏 with Melly is your motherfucking plug. Going so hard on criminals, they'll call their mama for a hug. She's finding out all the stuff they try to sweep under the rug. Dark hair shining in the Cali sun. Melly on the case, so no point in trying to run. You Sims can ask for feet pics,